Hey everybody, this is AF, the creator of DEADPXLZ and the DEADPXLZ ecosystem. If you don't know what that is, just go to links below. You'll find all the information you need there. Now, why am I here? Well, I've decided to start a series of developer diaries. Developer diaries because I am currently developing a video game, solo developing actually, a video game called Pixel Wars. Pixel Wars. Let's write it down. Pixel Wars. Cool. Now this game that I've actually a couple years ago, actually, I quit my job to work full time on it. My former job in making video games for the online gambling industry. So I've quit that a couple years ago. Started solo developing Pixel Wars, and development is going full swing right now. Still not finished. So for the When Boys or stuff like that, this isn't an announcement video. This is just a attempt, not necessarily an attempt, but also an effort to create a more transparent work environment for myself, towards the community, towards the people who are invested in the project, and so on. So this is me reaching out to everybody who's had questions, who's had doubts, dilemmas, or anything like that with regards to Pixel Wars development. And saying that development is happening, maybe not as fast-paced as a studio, definitely not as fast-paced as a studio, but still, it's happening, it's moving forward, and I will not stop until this game is out. So I just want to share my journey via these dev diaries, and let's just start talking about these and we'll get the ball rolling, okay? So I mentioned dev diaries, right? This is new. I haven't done this before. This is my first one, so apologies for minor glitches. If I glitch out or anything like that, it's just I usually try to film these in one take, and this is like my first attempt at being a streamer. Not necessarily streaming because I'm not streaming right now, but maybe in the future. You know what? Who knows? So further ado, dev diaries. What are these dev diaries that we keep talking about? A dev diary is basically when a solo developer, usually a solo developer, not necessarily, but usually, just films themselves talking about certain aspects of their game. Be it technical, visual, art direction, concept, sound, anything that has to do with the game. So, long story short, this is what a dev diary is. Now, my version of this of the dev diary is basically I want to do 2 of these. Let's start here. So we're going to be doing 2 times dev diary clips per month. This means bi-weekly. Yeah, bi-weekly. Okay. I will. I really want to discipline myself into doing this because I feel like it also keeps me kind of in the loop and connected to what I've done in the past, as well as I'm gonna do in the future. So it also gives me a bit of structure in my day-to-day work as well. So we're gonna have 2 dev diaries per month. The format is gonna be 20 minutes max. Per dev diary. And we will be talking about several stuff. Like, I don't like this one. Yeah, this is good. Game Crapola, okay? Where I will be showcasing Crapola where I will be showcasing a certain thing that I want to talk about in the game, be it technical, visual, blah, blah, blah. 2, I will do a game shout out. Because you know what? I mean, like, I also want to educate people in the game about good games, right? About cool games, about games that inspire me, about games that I've liked playing and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'll just recommend you guys play a game, a certain game that I've played and I enjoyed, right? Different one each dev diary. I've played a lot of games. And the third step is I'm going to try and do some sort of giveaway at the end of each giveaway. You see, I've written this so rarely that it just, I don't know how to spell it. Giveaway. But not like, handout or stuff like that. You're going to have to be a part of the community, obviously, and engage with this content somehow. Anyway, I'll just give out the details later on in this clip. Right, so giveaway. And this is the format that I want to stick to. I think it's enough for 20 minutes. Obviously, this one is not going to be 20 minutes since I'm doing this whole intro and onboarding you guys to what I want to do long term. So yes, Game Crapola. I'm going to talk about different games. Clear the air a bit, as well as do a giveaway. So for now, this is the format. It may probably change with time. This is obviously a work in progress. But I really want to get this out, and I'm super excited about it. I'm like super hyped and a bit nervous, to be honest. But still, we should get going, right? So we said we'll talk about Game Crapola first. Okay, let's go into Game Crapola. So what you guys see here is not, the actual video game. Obviously, it's not finished yet. It's still a work in progress. It's in development. But what I usually showcase, it's sort of like a sandbox, because I like to build sandbox style. And what you're seeing right now is a build of the game, which is running in real time in the browser. At 75 frames. Oh, it's not actually 70, it's more than that, but that's what the system registers. Anyway, and what I want to talk about today is in-game resource management, because a lot of people were like, oh, what's taking so long and blah, 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 why aren't you making progress? Sure, granted, these past couple months, a lot of personal stuff been going on. Obviously, good stuff, but also not so good stuff either. So it's been, a bit more difficult to get stuff out. But now that I'm back in full swing, and with these dev diaries, and onboarding you guys to these dev diaries as well, I feel like progress is going to be much smoother. But anyways, there's a lot of things that actually happen in the background that we don't usually talk about, because people usually expect to see stuff and don't necessarily think about how stuff is made. So what I had to showcase today for today's dev diary, and our very first dev diary, is resource management, and the way I created a system to actually make the game run as smooth and as resource responsible as possible, in order to be able to leverage a light on the resource games versus all sorts of devices, all sorts of configurations and stuff like that. Because in my opinion, the game should run on as many devices as possible. Because I want to get it out there. So, resource management, right? So what you see here is basically some bricks, right? And some tiles that are laid on the ground. But what do these things have in common? Obviously, also some nice wonky little trees, Had a lot of fun of these. We're gonna probably get into obstacles and stuff like that in a later clip. But anyway, what I wanted to discuss is how we managed to load these, all of these meshes and all of these resources in order to be as efficient as possible, in order to be able to have as much of them as possible on the map, right? Because if you look here, it's like, this is going to be the starting area, and it's not even finished, but there's a lot of meshes being loaded and stuff like that. So we need to leverage and we need to mine that performance output so that the game doesn't require a cutting edge graphics card to run. Simplicity, right? So what I did is basically, I really need to stop talking plural. I'm sorry, it's just professional defect. I identify as us, we. I'm just kidding. Anyway, what I did here was to leverage Babylon.js's thin instance tech or feature and put in the game. So basically what happens is, although you see like hundreds, probably several hundred bricks showcased here, it's actually, what we're looking at is two separate brick models, and I'm going to show them to you. Blender, never mind this. Two separate brick models. This is one of them. Let me just, this is one model that we're using, and just get one single one. Storage in, storage in, right, and this. So if you look closely, there's only two types of bricks: large ones and small ones. Large ones, small ones. And what I do is basically use the same model and just create thin instances out of it. The advantage for these thin instances is the fact that what we're basically getting is, instead of actually loading each of these meshes every time we need to display a brick here, so mesh 1, mesh 2, mesh 3, mesh 4, and so on, what we're doing is basically creating a light version of the same mesh and replicating it with certain parameters altered. So for example, here, what I do is I load these two brick models, and I basically rotate and skew them to 90 degrees angles so that they fall into place correctly. Obviously, there's a lot of math calculations done, because you need to mine the gaps, mine the corners, and stuff like that. But what happens, the end result is basically you get a diverse sort of layout where people don't usually pay attention to these details in the video games, and you basically create a sort of like a seamless border around the arena with very, very, very little resource cost, as opposed to actually loading like this kind of sort of huge mesh into the actual game. And if we do that, we probably get like a very, very low FPS rate, very low frame rate. So yeah, this is an example of smart resource management. This obviously can apply to the tiles, right? Because if you look closely, you'll see that there's like 4 or 5 tile models that sort of vary, but essentially they're the same mesh being loaded into thin instances and then displayed on screen. Same applies to anything. That actually everything that is repetitive can be managed with thin instances. Obviously, it's a bit more difficult to animate in real time and so on, because if, for example, just let me bring up this. if, for example, we were to get, like, these are the two brick models that I was talking about, right? Brick 1 and brick 0 and brick 1. So, for example, if we were to get these rotated somehow, you'll see that it actually rotates the entire population of brick model 0. Same goes for all of them. So we obviously can rotate it individually, but it's a bit more difficult and we need to go into some transform matrices and stuff like that. So still, good stuff. This saves a lot of performance, not to mention the fact that they are programmatically laid out based on the map format. Another thing that I want to talk about is also is map format. The map format is basically, it's not format, but the map layout, the arena layout, because we're calling these arenas, the arena layout is being loaded dynamically. So it's being created on runtime. It's not a pre-baked 3D model that we're seeing here. It's basically programmatically laid out tiles and bricks and whatever you want to add based on based on a funny little thing, which is here. Let me zoom in a bit. How the hell I don't even know how to. Anyway, appearance. I don't know how to zoom in, but anyways. Okay. Control option equal. Control. Right. So if we zoom in a little bit, you'll see that this is the layout, right? This is our layout. And this basically is the exact same map or arena we were looking at earlier. If you look closely, let me just zoom out a little bit here. If you look closely, you'll see that this part here is this. So if, for example, we were to say, I don't really like this anymore. I don't want to, I don't want to keep this portion of the arena here, over here on the left side, right? That's easy, no problem. We just turn all of these tiles that are filled with stuff to empty arrays, and voila, it just disappeared. And lo and behold, the actual bricks and layout dynamically shifted into place correctly, mathematically correct and geometrically correct. Right, so I guess that about does it with the in-game crapola. The thing that I wanted to share. I hope you guys get it. I know it's a bit technical, but what it basically is just good resource management, which can either make or break a game. And since we're building a good video game, I don't wanna be breaking it on low FPS or incompatible devices and stuff like that. Right, this is cool. I love doing this, by the way. And this is like one of the principles that I'm building PXLWARS around. Still, I'm happy to answer any questions with regards to this. By the way, if you guys have follow-ups, that's great. So this was the what we call the game crapola section. I'm gonna go ahead and do a game shout out now. And the game shout out that I want to do for the first Dev Diaries, a game that is very near and dear to my heart. Let me just mute this. The game is called Monument Valley. And they've actually just announced that Monument Valley 3 is coming out this December. Monument Valley is a video game. It's a mobile video game originally, which came out in 2014, and it was actually featured on House of Cards. You know, remember that Netflix show with Kevin Spacey? Very good show. What I liked about this game is the simple design, as well as the simple yet impactful design. And it's just, you know, it's a beautiful game. It's a puzzle game essentially. So I recommend you guys check it out. Maybe we can see like a short trailer of Monument Valley. I obviously played all of them, both of them. But yeah, it's you kind of start falling in love with this little character and the design and the simplicity. It's a quite beautiful game, and obviously I took a lot of inspiration from this game's visuals and this game's simplicity. And it's a part of me, and it's a part of the game that I'm making now. Goosebumps. Such nostalgia. And since I was talking about their Monument Valley number 3, it just was announced. This is what it's gonna look like. Great game. Programmatic. Nice. Anyways, this is my recommendation, my game recommendation for this Dev Diary. You guys check it out if you can. There's several platforms you can play it on. I've played it on my phone, to be honest, because I felt like it being designed for a phone, for a mobile phone or a tablet. It's better played in portrait, but they also have like a panoramic version where you can actually play in landscape. Good stuff, and congrats to us too for being the great studio that they are and putting out these great games that they put out. Very cool. You can find out about the game by going to this website here. Right. This is done. This section is done as well. So we're done with the game shoutout. Moving on to giveaway. So giveaway for this session, as well as the upcoming several sessions, we're gonna do a cybersecurity giveaway, courtesy of our longtime partner StratusSec. Stratus Security is a cybersecurity company which specializes in Web3. DEADPXLZ works with Stratus Security, so they're our cybersecurity partner. There's been they've basically managed to audit and secure everything that we do, and obviously since DEADPXLZ handles a lot of sensitive or valuable information, and as well as being in Web3 and being responsible for the safety of our users, of our dApps, and so on and so forth, I thought it was mandatory to get somebody who's experienced and who's thorough on board in terms of cybersecurity. So we got StratusSec, courtesy of somebody very dear to me from the community. So these guys are actually putting out some Malwarebytes keys. I believe it's a 1-year license. So they've graced us with a few of these licenses, and we're giving them away, especially since we've had a lot of incidents, even lately, of people getting hacked, of people getting installing malware on their computers and getting their wallets drained and so on. Guys, please install an antivirus. Please keep your funds in hardware wallets. And all of your seed phrases safe, and be mindful of what links you click on and what apps you install, and so on, especially if you're using a browser that's connected to your Web3 wallet. So basically, let me just bring out the nice music. Oh, here's the DEADPXLZ website. These guys are giving us some Malwarebytes licenses to give out. So I guess I'll just pick somebody from the DEADPXLZ community, from DEADPXLZ Discord, at random to get this license, provided you guys like the post that this video is in right now, and also follow Stratus Security on their Twitter. Okay, so get StratusSec at StratusSec. Let me just zoom in a little bit here. StratusSec, give them a follow, join DEADPXLZ Discord, and I'll pick up a winner from our verified holder list. Cool. So with this, I think we are at a wrap. It's a wrap. Not the tasty kind of wrap, but still a wrap. 1, 2, 3, giveaway done, game shoutout done, game crapola done. I promise these are gonna get better with time. I'm still a noob at this clip recording thing, so bear with me. Next time we're going to see each other is going to be 2 weeks from now. As we've said, we're going to do it bi-weekly, bi-weekly dev diary, and who knows what theme we're going to be tackling. Also, I wanted to bring out the fact that I also intend on doing a monthly roundup on the main DEADPXLZ account. So basically, just do a each month, at the end of each month, just do a roundup of whatever happened that month and so on. Oh, and I'll pick that up later on, and you guys will see. We're probably gonna do it, the monthly roundup. We're probably gonna start with end of September, so end of Q3 on the DEADPXLZ main account. So that's gonna be that, and I believe that's it. It is almost September. It's actually August 31st right now. I am broadcasting from the DEADPXLZ headquarters in Bucharest. Anything else? Oh, very important. Chang hard fork is coming up. So fingers crossed for that. There's actually no fingers crossed because it's been tested to oblivion, so it's probably going to be a smooth transition, most likely. But we are, it is going to be heralding the beginning of the Voltaire era for Cardano, which is Cardano's last step in its roadmap, where basically the blockchain passes, the blockchain governance, complete blockchain governance passes from the blockchain custodian towards the community. You can find more on the Chang hard fork by Googling it, obviously. But it's definitely something that we look forward to, and something that we've been waiting for ever since Cardano actually appeared, materialized. Ever since we got Cardano. Anyways, this has been it. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I do hope you have a great weekend ahead. Cheers.